breaks in the action, isn't it?
No, you don't. Maybe a quick break, if anything, you know, like a smidge. But I just want to translate, do a little Cantori-ese for you here. When he says less, you said less, and I don't know if people connect it.
Did I not explain it?
You did. You said lake affects snow, but I don't know if, listen, it's early in the morning. I just wanted to reemphasize, less, it's just one S. Like if you said less at first, and I was like, less than what? That's what I thought.
Right.
So someone might have missed the explanation when they were thinking, well, what'd you say, less than what?
So what you're really trying to say is, Cantori, you screwed up the intro again.
No.
Yet again.
I'm not saying that at all.
Oh, okay.
Not saying that at all. But LES is less, and that is lake effect snow. So I just wanted to reemphasize what he was saying there in case it got caught. Because
we had Lur over the past couple of weeks, didn't we?
We had Lur, lake effect rain. I'm trying to make it happen because no one says Lur. Everyone says less. No one says Lur.
See, I remembered, though.
You did.
I remembered you trying to bring that out. I like Lur. I'm in.
Oh, you're in. Okay, good.
I'm in.
So now let's get back to what Jim was saying off the top. We have 3 systems. This is number 1. And there are a lot of layers on this map. So I want to go through them with you. This is our surface feature. You've got warm air here in this warm sector. We've got rain, not a lot of it, but we've got rain, some frozen stuff at elevation. Then if you go down a layer, we've got the winds underneath that. This pink, red, purpley colors, that's where you're going to talk about very strong winds. You do have that here under where the green is, but the green is overlaid on it, so you can't really see it. So let's zoom out and see what we're dealing with. You see the big trough dipping down. This is that, this shows you what's happening in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. We can see the whole flow just going from west to east with the jet energy. But this is really what you want to keep your eye on, is this upper level energy dropping down. And then, of course, we have that surface feature here around the Great Lakes. Those two are going to combine with the jet, of course, in order to cause a lot of problems. So here's our low pressure I was telling you at the surface. Here's high pressure west of there, and that makes a difference because the stronger the high and the low are and the closer they are together, the gustier the winds are. And notice that we do have the most tightly packed isobars in between these two systems. Detroit gusting to 23 right now, and that's going to be a problem as all this wind moves into the northeast today, and we're ready for it with the wind advisories, high wind warning for some of those stronger gusts. And not only will they be from the low pressure, which is the synoptic scale system, we're also going to see that threat for some thunderstorms. But this is what you call a synoptic scale system, low pressure, the trailing fronts with it. It's really big relative to a mesoscale system, which is a lot smaller when you think about thunderstorms, but that's what we could see today. And some of this thunderstorm wind could be damaging. So let's play it out as we go through the day. Again, here's the whole big system coming in. But watch for these guys as they come through and they go across the state of New York, even into Pennsylvania. You could get in on some of these storms. And this is where it's like you get the small break before the next one comes in. So here's Wednesday late afternoon into the evening. You're still getting those strong winds, so that is going to be problematic. Cooler air on the backside of this, so you will be a little bit below average. There's your small break before the next system comes in for us here. But it's snow throughout the higher elevations. Again, not a lot, but the first snow for some of us. There's the wind coming into the northeast, a better shot of that today. This is still all system number 1, by the way. This is all system number 1. Okay? There's system number 2 getting into the picture. So that's why I'm saying you get a little, you don't get to take a huge deep breath, Jim, but just enough to get a little oxygen in there. And look at JFK Wednesday into Thursday. It's going to be breezy. Look at these gusts. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's hard to get away from the wind because we're really so transitional here. All right.
Right. So we drop down from 40 to 50 to a cool 25 to 30, and then we kick back up.
Right. And then direction changes too.
That too.
In
Yes.
all this.
Yes. So into the morning hours in the coming days. But they're so beautiful, Jim. Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Striking.
That blue color. Cardinals too.
Oriole.
Yes. Yes.
There's a yellow Oriole out there.
Yes, Jim. Yes. It's kind of an inside joke. One of our friends,
Howard, the sapper,
he goes, "Yes, Jim. Yes, Abrams. Yeah." He always says that, so we just now say it to each other. It's become a thing. But the cold air is going to start in Canada, come down into Gaylord, so we start to feel that cooler air coming on Saturday. Sunday, look at Sunday night into Monday morning, 19. This is what I was talking about, into the teens. And by the way, with some of those winds, that wind chill is going to take us down into the single digits. So it all starts into Canada, teens and 20s. That drops down. It comes down behind the third system that we've been talking about. There's the lake effect snow. The less that Jim was talking about, LE1S, less lake effect snow, and that cold air going over the relatively warmer lakes, 1 to 3 inches of it for us here. So it's not a lot, but it'll be the first snow for some of us. Don't pay attention to this yet. I'm going to block this one out. Just look over here. This is when we typically see our first snowfall. So it's this month from Minneapolis, Chicago, Kansas City. This is the earliest we've ever seen it. So in Minneapolis, we've seen it as early as September, Milwaukee, Chicago, Kansas as early as October. But November is when we typically get the snow. So let's watch this system take shape on Friday into Saturday. There's that lighter snow and that north wind behind it, a wind that comes from the north, pushes south, and it will start invading the country and turn us all quite chilly. Notice the winds. This is going to be a big problem with all 3 systems, actually. Look at 30, 40 miles an hour on Saturday, and this lasts as we head into our Sunday. So, Jim, these wind chills are going to be quite impressive. Real quick here, look at Chicago. We need the moisture, Jim, but there's our drop. Saturday, 47, 36 Sunday for a high.
Yeah, but we can forget about the moisture.
I remember also in class we were allowed to bring like 1 paper of like notes.
Oh, and you write
every
tiny can. Tiny.
Oh my God.
Tangent equals sine times cosine or whatever.
So
all of them
tiny.
V dot del
You're
Q.
like, what does this say?
The geostrophic wind equation. All sorts of good stuff.
Okay, so let's talk about travel. We did all that math and science and physics, literally, to forecast the weather. It is so math and science based. This is system number 1. There's system number 2. System number 3 is up over here. But where we have, obviously, our systems and that jet energy is where we are going to get the turbulence today. And that will continue as we head not only through the afternoon, but also as we head into the evening hours for us here. It's basically the northern tier that are going to be feeling that bumps. But if you're going from west to east through the northern tier, you're going to be going very, very fast. All to maybe get hung up when you get on the ground here if there's another gate, another plane at your gate, because they haven't been able to leave because of all the wind here. If you do have a window seat, look for some of that fall color. We're kind of past peak, but you still might be able to see. It's very sad, though, in the Northeast, if you're going to look for fall cover. I was driving home yesterday from Pilates, and you know how there's a bunch of trees that are lined up like along the street? Well, they had like power lines going through them. So what they had to do is they cut the trees. So the trees were like this and then like that. And I was like, really? It just kind of ruined it. You could still see some of the fall colors and stuff, but I was like, oy vey.
All right, it's already.
Steph?
Well, whether you're off to grandma's for a golden turkey dinner or hanging stockings with your closest friends, now is the time to start finalizing those holiday travel plans. Let me tell you, I just finalized some last week, and it was outrageously expensive already.
Really? Well, let's find out if somebody has some tips for us on how to make it a little less expensive. Joining us is Clint Henderson, managing editor for The Points Guy. All right, Clint, you heard what Stephanie said. Why is now, as opposed to a month or 2 ago, the best time for booking holiday flights?
Yeah, so prices usually drop before the holidays 1 to 2 months ahead of time.
From the hot tub into the cold plunge. Whether you like it or not, it's going to be happening. And it's not just there in St. Louis. It's really across the entire eastern half of the country, all the way down to Florida. The west is going to stay very warm because we have quite a seesaw action that's going on, and I'll show that to you. Minneapolis, we are in the blue here all the way through our Monday, but listen, 35, 33 in Minneapolis. We have all decided that's still flip-flop T-shirt weather probably for people who live in Minneapolis. But we get a nice boost of warmth here as we head into our Tuesday at 51 degrees. Look at today, 50s. All the way to Rapid City, 57, Minneapolis, Buffalo, 55. We have got that warmth in place, even the 80s down in the south. But watch this flip. 80 million below average on Saturday, 200 above average on Saturday. But this is a system that's starting to make its way through the country. It starts on the first half of our weekend, and then by the time we get to Monday, quite a flip, right? So we've got some seesaw action here, 215 million below average. You have a big ridge in the west that allows all that warmth to go very far north. Now, speaking of north, that's where all that cold air is coming from, of course. You're going to see it dropping down. There it is, woof, and it gets all the way through the south. I'm talking about even into Florida. We are going to see those below average temperatures. Huge dip in the jet stream. Gulf Stream, the jet stream going down to the Gulf, that allows that cold air to get very far south. So our highs 10 to 20 degrees below average. These are our highs. Imagine the morning lows are going to be down in the teens, even cooler than that with the wind blowing in some places because wind chills will be a factor. We are going to see 42 million below 32 on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, that number just continues to grow as that cold air just keeps creeping south. Look at Tuesday morning, 28 in Jackson, 30 in Tallahassee, 31 in Charleston, even into Tampa, 43 degrees, which is freezing for Florida. Atlanta, there's your drop off. Here's the thing. Sunday we're going to be nice and warm. But Molly, if you forget that the cold is coming Monday and all of a sudden like that cold air wakes you up in the middle of the night, you're going to be like, what?
Or you walk out of your house
Yeah, you walk out
and
of the
you're
house.
like, whoa.
Yeah, I need a jacket.
What happened?